Did you know? During the Wii U's development, possibly none of Nintendo's senior staff were aware of how Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network functioned. An unnamed third-party developer told Eurogamer that working with the Wii U prior to launch, and working with Nintendo in general, was a rather trying experience. Nintendo had issues setting up a large network infrastructure like Xbox Live, even after announcing their online platform and its features. The developer explained, "This was surprising to hear. We probed a little deeper and asked how certain scenarios might work with the Me friends and networking, all the time referencing how Xbox Live and PSN achieved the same thing. At some point in the conversation, we were informed that it was no good referencing Live and PSN, as nobody in their development teams used those systems." The apparent reason for the Day 1 patch on the Wii U was that most of the network features on the OS weren't even on the console yet. Everything regarding the development process leading up to the launch ran slower than expected. Their team received multiple dev kits up until launch, which is standard procedure, but the kits were colored differently and didn't include clear explanations as to how they were different from earlier versions, outside of the obvious hardware adjustments. When issues running the actual game on the Wii U arose, they reported to Nintendo support, but the team ended up having to wait around a week to get a reply for each report thanks to time zones and translation issues. The Espresso multi-chip module microprocessor utilized in the Wii U offloads some of the troubles from the CPU onto other chips, but due to how different this was from existing systems like the Xbox 360 and PS3, the team didn't know how to properly make use of the feature and compensate for the underpowered CPU. The Wii U's hardware development cycle was completed in 4 years, having started just 2 years after the Wii released. The Wii U team experimented with a second screen very early on, before solidifying the concept of the console. They affixed the screen to the end of the Wii zapper to simulate the screen moving one-to-one with the player's movements. Two developers who worked on Wii Sports and Resort, Takayuki Shimomura and Yoshikazu Yamashita, were exploring ideas from Wii Sports to find new angles for the Wii U. Shimomura said, "We tested gameplay that involved moving the Wii zapper and having images from the Wii move in sync on the monitor in your hands. It was fairly well received. The team was almost immediately taken with the concept. Before it could be applied to the Wii U, Miyamoto decided the idea worked best for the 3DS in the form of the built-in gyro sensor for the handheld, which was in the final stages of development at the time." Shimomura added, "Thanks to this prototype, however, we were able to explain the structure of the Wii U, having a screen in your hands, and it being more compelling." With the Wii Zapper prototype no longer in play, the team moved on to a new prototype model. The model was simply an LCD screen with 2 Wii remotes fixed to either side. Initially, the gamepad's design was much more reminiscent of handheld tablet devices. It featured circle pads instead of analog sticks, and the whole device was flat, opposed to the final design, which has a protrusion on the back and grips on either side. The Wii U's outward appearance was motivated by the same idea of the Wii. This explains the initial minimalistic flat design that made it seem as though it belonged in the living room. Nintendo hardware developer Masato Ibuki spoke about developing the gamepad. "We didn't know how tacking grips on the back of a square pad-like device would make it easier to hold, so we made a bunch of designs. I carved them by hand, adjusted them with clay, did that day after day for a long time. Went to have it checked by those involved, and got told it was difficult to hold. No matter how perseverant you are, that may break your heart. I thought, come on, this is pretty good, isn't it? But they flat out said it wasn't, so we repeated that process. I think that was the hardest time for me." Nintendo made roughly 30 software prototypes for the Wii U while still using the work-in-progress gamepad. The programs ran through 2 Wii consoles, which were used as simulations for the Wii U. These software prototypes led to the idea for a Nintendo theme park, which eventually became one of the Wii U's launch titles, Nintendo Land. Miiverse is a sort of spiritual successor to the Japanese Wii channel called Wii no Ma. The channel was billed as a living room communication channel, which allowed users to shop, watch on-demand video content, and featured a variety of entertainment channels. According to Miiverse director Kiyoshi Mizuki, "We updated it every day, but depending on the users on the receiving end, sometimes they would find what we distributed to be interesting, and sometimes it wasn't. So it was very challenging to try and satisfy everyone with a limited amount of content we could produce. So instead of making everything ourselves for users to enjoy, we thought that we could maybe set up user-generated content so that more people could participate." Then Nintendo president Satoru Iwata referred to the concept as an empathy network. The entire program was designed to elicit empathy between its users. This is why instead of the commonly implemented system of likes used in most social networks, Miiverse uses yes, and the posts are attached to a specific game for the purposes of shared interest. When you turn on the Wii U, the main screen is called Warawara Plaza, but originally it was called Mi Warawara. The idea of having Miis come out and bustle around in a crowd, or Warawara, came from the 3DS Street Pass Mii Plaza lacking any social experience outside of the actual act of street passing. The developers behind the Dolphin GameCube and Wii emulator reverse-engineered the Wii U gamepad in an attempt to get the Wii U emulator working on PC. Pierre Pordon told Eurogamer, "We started working on the Wii U gamepad as soon as we got our hands on it. The gamepad is actually not a very secure device compared to the Wii U. The device firmware is stored in an unencrypted flash, which allowed us to reverse-engineer the binary binary code pretty easily. It's also using almost standard 802.11n, which made things easier to experiment on PC. We also found the system can support 2 Wii U gamepads simultaneously. This is actually built into the system's firmware, implying Nintendo were going to use this feature or at least allow other developers to use it. There are a few fun Easter eggs featured within the Wii U's menus. When game data is transferred from the Wii to the Wii U, the icons of the transfer data are carried by Pikmin. The Mii Maker music features the Great Fairy Fountain theme, as well as the theme to Super Mario Bros. 3 Waterland. On top of this, if you access the Warawara Plaza on your birthday, music will play and your Miis will clap for you. Don't forget to subscribe to DidYouKnowGaming for more facts and trivia. You should also click on this annotation to watch the DidYouKnowGaming video on the original Wii. Don't forget to check out TeamFourStar's DBcember, a yearly look at 24 of the top things in Dragon Ball Z. This year, the top 24 movies. Click the link to see the first couple selections.